It's time for the business news with Nona Peltier. Nona, you've got some news about Synlait Milk. It's lifting its milk payout forecast by nearly 13%.
It's quite a lot. And we have seen dairy prices rise over the last few dairy trade auctions this year. And so, of course, the Farmgate milk price is going up along with it. Now, Synlait produces, most of the milk it produces is with the A2 protein, we may recall.
I call it fancy milk.
It's fancy milk. It has, it's sort of, it's a milk that has a very high popularity, and it's a premium milk product as well. They're raising their price to $7 per kilo of milk solids, which is a pretty toppy price. Now, you compare that with Fonterra's milk range, which is $6.70 to $7.30 a kilo there. That would drive up the amount of money into the dairy industry. Something like, $10.5 billion is what that would deliver into the market. So that's a lot of money for the rural sector, and it's certainly a boost because dairy is one of our largest export earners alongside tourism, which, of course, is not likely to come back anytime soon, as we've been hearing. So, big boost to the dairy industry. Will it continue? It's hard to know, but certainly the signs are positive. There is a strong demand now for those products, and we'll, I guess we'll have to wait and see how it goes. But we haven't seen prices this high for a while. Last season, they were pretty high, but people might remember back in 2014, we were at $8.31. Which is, who knows if we'll get anywhere near there, but certainly the outlook is positive.
And it'll be interesting to see if and how that bumped up price filters down into some of these rural communities.
Yeah, exactly. Certainly it's going to be a big boost because some of these regional economies have been hit by the lack of tourism dollars because they're not right on the main trunk line, so to speak, and certainly not as popular with New Zealand domestic tourism.
So new trust laws come into effect at the end of the month, not far off. So what will the changes mean?
Yeah, so this aptly named the New Trusts Act, and it's something that had been revised a long time. It was due for a long time, and it was supported by all sides of the government and the opposition too. So it was a long time in the making. We have between 300,000 and 500,000 trusts in New Zealand, which is a large number by any measure. Certainly per capita, it's a very high number. Now, there's lots of reasons why people set up trusts. In the old days, it was because they were trying to keep their assets hidden. Perhaps there was inheritance tax, these types of things. But that's pretty old now. That's not a good reason to have a trust to begin with. Good reasons to have a trust could be, say, a blended family. So, where you have remarriages and you want to make sure that assets go to one child or another and different families and so on. Another reason would be to protect your business assets from your personal assets, so to ring fence them. Those are good reasons to have a trust, but most of the trusts that we see in existence are not for those purposes. So people who have been waiting and maybe lagging behind in terms of, getting rid of these trusts are up for a lot of new regulations. And one of them is they're going to have to contact every beneficiary of a trust. And a lot of people are named in trusts but have no idea. And once people are named, and they will then be able to demand information from these trustees. And so trustees won't be able just to quickly dissolve these trusts. There's going to be processes involved, and they could find themselves before the courts if they don't follow the rules. So it's the Wild West is over. Let's just put it that way.
That is going to be interesting. Okay, what's been going on the markets today?
So we were doing pretty good just at the close. We were in positive territory, and then really sentiment turned in line with what we've seen in Asia. So our index closed down about 0.5%. That's 76 points down to 13,323. And so most of what the concern is there is about the package that the U.S. are negotiating now to assist their population with COVID. It's not clear whether or not that's going to pass, and so there's some concern there. Likewise with the New Zealand dollar, it's been trading and it's really range bound. So 71.9 cents, that's a little changed from yesterday, and really experts are looking at us staying in this range until something gives in the U.S. market. So about 71.5 cents to 72.4 is probably the range we're going to see for maybe a couple of weeks. 93.4 Australian and 50 52.6 pence.
Wow, thanks, Nona. Nona Peltier with our business update.